Today's episode is a continuation of our discussion on liquidity profile. In previous episodes, we spoke about what liquidity profile is, why we do it, and how we do it. What I thought I'll do in this episode is to share an example of a liquidity profile study that I was part of. This is likely to go on for longer than 90 seconds, so please bear with me. So in this liquidity study, it was done in northern Uganda, in a region called Karamoja, in 3 districts of that region. What we found was that there were 43 different types of income sources by the beneficiaries across the 3 districts. And averagely, people have about 7 income generating activities in their portfolio. Now, as you can see in the chart on the screen, it's that most of the income levels are fairly low, as is at the bottom of the chart. We studied the income profile across typical 12 months, and there's only 3 income sources that are at the top of it, and not very many of the people, of the beneficiaries, have do those 3 income sources. The next thing to have a look at is the expenses. As you can see here, the expenses are bunched at the bottom of the profile of the chart, and you have these 3 spikes in income in expenses, and these are school fees and school related expenses. Now, that in itself, the income levels and variability and the expense levels and variability, is important, but not as important as the net position of when you net the income sources, when you net the level of income and expenses. And what you see on your screen is the 3 districts, the net cash position of the typical participants in the 3 districts that we studied in Karamoja region of northern Uganda. One of the districts, as you can see in green, most of the participants there are in positive net cash flow from the beginning of the year till the end, although the variability of the net position is a bit violent around mid-year. If you go then to the second region, in red, as you see in the chart, you see that this particular district, participants across that district go into negative cash flow for 6 months of the year, 3 times in the year. They go into negative net cash flow position, and the other goes into negative net cash flow position only once in the year. Now, why is this important? This is important if we're trying to engage private sector actors to come into this region. We ought to be able to get them to match the promotion and the sale of their services with the times that participants are in the positive net cash flow position. But more importantly, for our intervention, if we want these participants to invest in any income generating activities, what we ought to be focused on is counter-cyclical income generating activities. What does that mean? It means that in their portfolio of income generating activities, it's important to have income generating activities that may be declining income levels matched with the ones that are coming into high position in income level. So the net income is fairly even and higher in that portfolio of income sources. So this is what I thought I'll share with you. 90 seconds is obviously too short to go through this thoroughly, but there's implication for private sector engagement. This information is very useful for any private sector partner that you might want to bring in. It's important for your own intervention design, and so you can essentially match your intervention. You identify the entry point and even the type of intervention that you do in a particular region. This is the essential part of the liquidity profile, essential use of liquidity profile. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this long video. Please leave your questions and comment in the section below.